I think I'm somewhere in here. Where are you, Erica? She's around here somewhere. But thank you so much, Erica, for all your help in making all this happen. Last year I stood on stage and I said, we're going to bring this program to Los Angeles. Well, this summer we actually did, and we just concluded it in August. So what we're going to present to you right now, a short, brief film video of that process, and then we're going to get the show started. So thank you so much, and enjoy this brief video.
Is an applied and devised theater project between police officers and youth, and it's intended to disrupt implicit bias, create positive interactions, and build communication.
The Welcome to Beat program is a program out of the Elizabeth Theater Ensemble, which is a nonprofit that I started about 10 years ago, which is New Jersey based. It has always been my goal to take this curriculum model across the country to different communities. And the Fountain Theater program with open arms.
The Fountain Theater brings everything to this project. The Fountain Theater brings support, encouragement, enthusiasm. Everybody is welcome here.
The program takes place in 2 phases. Phase 1 is our trust and devising phase.
We go through various applied and devised theater exercises and tools.
Where we're literally writing from scratch based off of us. A lot of times in theater you get a script and you have to figure out the character, but the characters are us.
We're trying to find common ground with all these shared experiences. And with that common ground, we are sort of shining a light onto it in order to celebrate it, but also to start a dialogue between community and performers.
And what comes out is a representative of the entire process. So the audience not only sees the creative work, but sees a little bit of what the experience was. And I give it to my partner in the program, Theo Perkins, and he directs the show.
And these are really important things that not a lot of people try to put on, so I'm really grateful for it.
My challenge is to help these, what you might think as two opposites, to understand that they're really not opposite.
I've learned that everyone has a lot of stories, and most of the time, the stories are similar.
Whether I'm wearing a uniform or I'm not wearing a uniform, or we're all in the same circumstances as far as living a life and making it your own.
It was therapeutic. Is the best way I can say it. It was the energy that everyone brought every day. It's been amazing, just getting to know them and watching them grow and their personality grow.
One more time again.
Did they fit the description?
No!
Did they get squeezed into it?
Yes!
Sit into the last back.
Yes!
So working with law enforcement was nerve-wracking at first, but it's a good opportunity. And it's an opportunity that more people need to have.
I've learned that police officers are more than just law enforcement machines, I'd say. They actually have personalities, they're people, they're no less of a person than other people.
These cops and these kids, they have a bond with each other because they physically, experientially, they went through something with each other. So this is really about telling your story, and I'll tell you mine. And our whole premise is listening is an act of love. You have to acknowledge the other person's perspective in order to do any communicative or building work.
From talking to the police out of their outfits as people, I learned a little bit more about the things that go through their head when they're on the job.
Before this program, I would see them as the problem causers, but from their perspective, they see themselves as the problem solvers. So working with them has definitely changed my perspective.
After being in this program, your perspective on police will actually change quite a lot. No matter what your perspective is, you'll learn a lot more.
It helps us to work with the students and seeing them grow and seeing them be relaxed around us and be happy and be joyful around us.
this. It's a nice change of pace.
This is the first time ever, I've been at this office for about 17 years now, and this is the first time that I've ever seen anything like this, where the police officers work with the youth that we've never met before. And just seeing them and working with them every single day for several weeks now has been a nice journey.
We're rehabilitating the relationship. We're honoring students, and we're also encouraging and honoring these good cops.
Anybody can convey a message just by writing a play before we get students and actors, but I don't think it's very often that you get to work with police officers in your division that are taking time off or that aren't on duty to come and help write and act in a play. And that's an even stronger message because you're getting the message from people that are police officers and that are in those shoes.
This program is unique because it is completely experimental. Every time we do the show, it's different. All the words, everything in it, it's things we've said and things we've discussed.
This whole project requires imagination. People are gonna say, cops and kids working together before they can't see it. We're pushing you to the edge of your imagination because that's what it takes to solve problems.
A wall is just another door. A wall is just another door.
If you want to learn more about the program and are interested in joining us for next summer, please follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/theater in Elizabeth, or you can check out the Fountain Theater's website at www.fountaintheater.com.
Thank you all so much for coming. This Los Angeles process would not have been possible without the wonderful support of everyone here in the city of Elizabeth. So our goal is to model this curriculum to take different cities across the country. LA was our first one outside our nest, and we look forward to this upcoming year expanding even more. Enjoy the show, The Privilege of Living.
Adaptation, input, culture, Elizabeth, Bodega, the airport, the mall, the one by the side, and the one at 9. Fairway Circle, Midtown, Broad Street buses, New York, 596112. They don't ever come to say, welcome to Hopewell. It smells. The river is still New Jersey.
Battlefield, library, school free. You never miss a courthouse. Fort Renego, McDonald's,
The likes of Chupitos, Las Palmas, El Dolce, Barcode, from outside Publix on Broad Street, across from Shepherd's Road, and Bargain.
Colombian flag, Portuguese flag up to Peter's tongue got the Italian flag, the Cosmos Italian Nights. Nicolino's got the best lights. Nah, Bruno.
Ready? Is that the bodega on Saturday morning? Yes. Airplane landing, top starts at 2 a.m.
The black guy looks like Jesus. Wolf is dead.
Josh with no shirt on, no matter how cold it is.
Oh yeah, he goes to my church. Yeah, my pastor works at Chick-fil-A too. The house is overly decorated by School 14, even on Valentine's Day.
Jehovah Witnesses, next to say you're not home, some of the Chinese wings, hot sauce, and ketchup. The dance salon.
Basketball still, lights only above.
Found the good and the bad. We got stories.
We can make fun of ourselves. It's like we're a family.
Welcome to Elizabeth. The sign is on Western Avenue.
You know, the blue one with the fancy letters. I feel like home.
If you're from here, everyone knows you. Everyone's connected.
It's a really small world.
The diversity, the connections, it hardens you. It teaches you a lot. It matures you and gives you a sense of responsibility.
Welcome to the WIC.
speak and remove all doubt.
Lincoln.
I am a phoenix rising from ash, aiming for greatness as if rising from ash wasn't enough. I am a closet that denies to hold everything in. I am a TV viewer that displays murder and injustice. I am a tree that continues to grow at a pace so that everyone can follow. I am a volcano erupting with no intention to destroy but to create. I am a creative volcano, a closet cracked open, a tree that continues to grow. I am.
Don't be what you will.
I am the horse gazing upon Mount Olympus. I'm the leaves in constant change. With time comes growth. I'm an hourglass. I'm the fire that has yet to be lit. With me comes many different parts. I'm a set of drums. And behind all these mountains and valleys, there's a volcano on the verge of eruption. You don't know me, but you will.
I am the body of a running water, calming enough to lift you, powerful enough to drown you, suffocate you. Hear the waves crashing against the mountainside. Listen to the deafening sound of the wind consume you. Does it frighten you? Do you feel threatened? Intimidated? I am a continuous, endless black hole. Steer clear, don't follow. Don't fall for the trick. Black as black can be. Blacker than a blind person sees. Darkness. What does it make you feel? Don't be scared. Don't run away. For this blackness is not always this evil, not always this loud.
You don't know me, but you will.
I am the blossom tree in flames with the birds who line upon the street bongos jumping in the air. I choose to sit in the comfort of my closet because that's where I have control. But in reality, I'm the delay of lightning waiting to strike upon the ocean waves. My mind is the bomb ready to burst on everyone. But I choose to be priest for everyone because I know one day I will have my time. But until then, I'll sit quietly.
You don't know me, but you will. I am the light, sparkly rain on the ground that gets stepped on and ignored. But I'm also the loud, threatening thunder that's screaming to be heard.
You don't know me, but you will.
I am water, cannot be suppressed. Can you hear me? Of course you can, because I, in the deafening silence, am louder than a dinosaur's roar. Can you see me? I come in many forms. I can be smaller than the number 000.1 and bigger than you can ever imagine. Can you feel me?
You don't know me, but you will.
I am a stingray gliding through the water, a palm tree soaking in the warm sun. The thought of relaxation, the feeling you get when you nap after a long day.
I know that's right.
You don't know me, but you will.
I am the rain cascading down the long glass window. I'm a hurricane of colors, flashing different hues of pinks, purples. I'm a tree of wonder, each intertwined root signifying a different part of my complex personality. I am the lion, leading 2 steps ahead of the pack. I am the light you see at the end of the tunnel, the warmth returning to your body after having a life sucked out of you. I am the peace you've been looking for. Here I am.
Here I am. Yeah! And if you don't know, now you know.
You don't know me, but you will.
In the line of duty, you can never let your guard down. I rest when I'm home. When I'm with my family, shopping, going out, doing different things. But when I'm at work, I'm in work mode. I have a duty to protect others, protect myself, and go home. So if I have a duty to protect you, or anyone for that matter, I'm going to keep my guard up for us. It's not going to be for me. I'm not doing it just for myself. It's going to be for us. I stand 100% making a change within the community. And this stems from the environment I was raised with, the way I was raised, the way my parents taught me how to treat others, because that's important. Any interaction that I could have 100 interactions a day, but that specific person only had one. and it was with me, and they're gonna remember that. I'm going to a call, and I'm putting myself in your shoes, no matter the situation, because I know if I was in that position, I'd probably be just as emotional as you are. And who knows, it might take it out of me. I understand your anger, but that's what I've signed up for. That's what comes with this job. And I love every single day that I'm able to do it, knowing that I'm an asset and security to my community. When I interact with people on a daily basis, I hope that I'm able to leave them with a great taste. When you take this job, they don't tell you, that you're going to risk your life every single day. You kind of inherit that in you. You take this job, you want to help others, you want to change others, you want to motivate others. But you always have in the back of your mind that at any day, you may not come back home.
You don't know me, but you will.
How do I think myself? I don't know. I take the good with the bad, and without the good, and try to make it good, and I like it. I have to learn to grow to who I am, and to like who I am. I'm aggressive at times, forceful. I'm very passionate about what I'm passionate about, and I think it comes through to everything that I do. And just recently, I didn't realize that my voice, I sound so harsh, I sound so angry. People used to say, "Why do you sound so angry?" And I would say, "I'm not angry, I'm just passionate, And it's not that. I feel like it's Italian and black. I like our go together. I forgot who I was for a minute. I like it. The reflection in the mirror, it makes me happy. I have a lot of best. The motorcycle accident was almost like the gift universe. And I say that because if I hadn't had it, I would have never been able to forge some of the relationships I did in an inch of it. And it's also forced me to go somewhere else, And I just believe that God pushes you where you're going to be. If you think you're going to stand in one place forever, He's going to push you. If you don't want to move yourself, He's going to push you. It's been I could have died last year, but I didn't. So I'm still here for a reason. I'm still here for a reason. And it's not like I'm still here and I'm a vegetable or a next program, anything like that. I'm here and I'm fully functional. Well, besides some Stella, just to get the groove back on. My mind's fine, my legs work. God puts people in place for me. Life is a series of events that catapults you to who you are and who you become. The ebbs and flows of life. You go with it, go against it. What do you do?
Theater is a beacon of hope.
Put your hands where I can see.
The privilege. 911 was an emergency. The privilege of living. These are our.
Was there ever a time you feared for your life?
Yes, it was so hot out today that I thought about not putting on my vest. Turned on the news, 6 cops got shot. There's my vest right here.
I mean, pulling over cars with tinted windows that don't roll down, man, sometimes people's windows are just broken. That's what we deal with.
I'm always on duty, even when I'm off duty, armed and ready to protect.
You ever wish you had a different job?
Yes, at times. Only if it's something helping kids.
Theater is a beacon of hope.
Put your hands where I can see.
The privilege. 911 was an emergency. The privilege of living. These are.
Because you don't know where you're getting stopped. Because they take away someone you love. And everything is about to get worse. Because we can't stop them. Shoot first. Ask questions later.
decorations left alone without the fear of anyone stealing them. I was 3 minutes away from my destination.
I saw a big car with white lights up ahead at a stop sign. I went through even though it was just right away. And then out of my peripheral, I saw this.
My shoulders got tense. I turned down my music and shut everyone up.
2 minutes left.
We were being followed. I saw red and blue lights shining. I immediately pulled over, lowered my window, and shut everyone up again. It started to rain lately.
Hands on the dashboard. Lights on.
Speak in a respectful manner.
Do not resist.
License and registration.
They said I was followed because my car was too loud and I was going over the speed limit.
Anything in the vehicle?
I said no.
I don't know how much time has passed by, but they removed all the passengers from the vehicle.
They began
I was kept separate. I wasn't allowed to speak to any of them.
They began searching everyone. They patrolled very roughly, searching every crevice of your clothes. Then they made us get onto the sidewalk, and then a big, fluffy German Shepherd came down the road to the car.
Started me 2 out of them in the car, and then they went right in. They tore every inch of the car. They finally got what they were looking for.
3 items of paraphernalia,
2 cartridges of marijuana oil,
a grinder, an empty jar,
and 3 pills of MDMA.
Everything happened so quickly.
I was put into handcuffs, tossed in the back seat. One of the officers spoke to the 3 passengers on the sidewalk and then just let them go. I sat alone in the back seat.
What just happened?
We pulled into some car garage door. Then he took off his gun and put it in the box on the wall. Then he took me to a bright gray room. The process continued. Information was exchanged.
He took everything out of the bag and examined it carefully. He asked me if any money was involved. Probably several times in several different ways.
I said no several times.
My fingerprint was taken.
why does your finger look like that? It's not coming out right, we need to do it again.
It looks weird, like an alien finger.
I guess I heard it when I was younger.
My picture was taken. And you know, to lighten up the mood, I asked if I could see it.
Aw, you look like a sad little baby.
My cheekbones look nice in one of them, so I wondered if I would end up somewhere online.
Took the handcuffs off me.
My signature was taken. We talked about my future for some time, I guess to fill the silence.
I was given a summons to appear in court the day after New Year's.
He escorted me back to the vehicle and took me back to my car.
Then he left me, like nothing ever happened.
Put your hands where I can see.
The privilege. 911. The privilege of living. These are our stories.
One day I found myself in the streets.
Our stories.
Voices.
Tragedy in Colorado, where two teenage gunmen turned another American school into a terrible, terrible scene.
Right.
Voice.
Badge.
Uniform.
Right.
Voice.
Badge.
Uniform.
Right.
Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right. Voiceless badge. Uniform. Right.
Here, when we get an AR-15 in the hallway of Stillman Douglas High School as a bright freshman walks past.
We are tracking that breaking news in Texas this hour. A shooting at a Walmart has led to
Because you don't know why you're getting stopped. Because they take away someone you love. about to get worse. Because you can't stop them. Shoot first. Ask questions later. Shoot first. Ask questions later. Because you don't know why you're getting stopped. Because they take away someone you love. And everything is about to get worse. Because you can't stop them. Shoot first. Ask questions later.
Because you don't know why you're getting stopped.
Why are you getting stopped?
Why I'm getting stuck?
Because you're worried about your mom. You just wanted a slushie.
Because they take away someone you love.
Because it's a misunderstanding.
Because you don't know why they're here, what's going on.
And everything is about to get worse.
Because they take the Jordan. Because you can't stop them.
Because you're worried about your little bro. Because you're driving in a neighborhood you don't belong to.
You've got friends in your car.
And everything is suddenly on you because you're the driver.
When it's a case of mistaken identity.
And you're just trying to get your ID.
When they violate your rights.
Shoot first. Ask questions later.
When someone ends up dead and their kid was there.
They threaten you to your face.
Voiceless.
Badge.
Uniform.
Right here.
Red, white, bruised.
Put your hands where I can see them.
The privilege. 911 was the privilege. The privilege of these are our
Open the door.
Who is it?
The police, open the door.
Where's your warrant?
We have it. Open the door, we'll open it for you.
I forgot what she ordered. Salt or sugar on the bread? Who knows? We're here. It was happy hour, so I don't think she did either. How about drinks? Who would? She never answered me anyway. Mommy, can we leave now? I have school tomorrow. I think it was still my first week of middle school I went to Wilson, so I was plainly excited to go. My mom, her coworker, and I were on the border of Texas and Clifton. She called it a girls' night, but for me, it was just being bananas. We wrapped up, asked her if we could go boxes, and they split the bill. We got my mom's black BMW truck and headed home. She pulls in front of the house because my brother's white Honda is in the driveway. So as we enter, she starts telling me to get ready for bed and school tomorrow. My favorite part of school, getting my outfit ready for the next day. So, as I sit rummaging in my closet, I hear 4 house rattling knocks at the side door less than 10 minutes before we walked in.
Open up.
I dropped whatever was in my hand and I called my mom.
Open up, we'll open it up for you.
My mom immediately dialed 911 to make sure these men have the right house. So, I'm just sitting in the kitchen, watching over her. And as her phone rings, there was a loud thud at the door. Then another, then another. And after the 4th thud, our door was almost ripped off the hinges. Men in heavily armored black uniform were in my house, going straight upstairs to my brother's room. You can hear their heavy boots stomping through the ceiling, literally tearing his room apart. Flipping the mattress, throwing all the clothes in his closet on the floor, moving furniture, ripping posters off the wall. As those men are defacing his room, the head officers talk to my mom in the kitchen, saying they have a warrant to search the white Honda in the driveway. So, while they search, they find a knife, a scale, and baggies. They then bring these items back in the house to show my mom, then they question the whereabouts of my brother, telling her to call him to make sure he comes straight home, and if he didn't, that they charge her with the items, threatening her with arrest because the car was in her name. So she starts tearing, and without saying a word, she calls him, pleading for him to come home before she's taken away. He refuses at first, scared to deal with the consequences.
But as she begins to explain that she may be arrested for his actions, he skateboards home to save. And less than 5 minutes later, a cop finds him and brings him to the house. They then asked my mom to step outside to identify him, but she couldn't. She'd be sick to her stomach if she looked at him. So they took him anyway, leaving as though nothing happened. Leaving as though they didn't just traumatize us. Sleepless nights, thinking it would happen again. Tore up my house, broke down our door, took my best friend of a week. Turns out he was initially caught for selling to an undercover cop, and later explained that he was doing it to pay for his college tuition. So I didn't get to see him before he was taken away from me. And that's how I got my answer. Salt, the bitter taste of a bitter day that never left your tongue.
Come here, Bree. Sit down. I'll be all right.
I know this was a very hard moment for you. To have people, strangers, come into your house and unannounced, tearing up your things. It's an unsafe feeling. And you were so young. You didn't know why, you didn't understand. All you understood was that these people were taking away someone that you love. What I want you to understand is that police officers have a job to do. And even though they come into people's houses and it's not the most comfortable situation, they don't know what the threat is on the other side of the door. So they don't know how they have to go in. So they have to get it while they can get in. And unfortunately, you being so young, all you saw was the fact that your brother that you love very dearly was being taken from. And you think it's something small for me, but it's still a law that was being broken. I'm not trying to justify how it was handled. Maybe they could have taken you out of the room to make you feel safe. But, it is what it is, unfortunately. So I just want you to have a better understanding of why and how things were done. So you can have a trust in the police still, and you know that, nobody's trying to hurt you directly, but the image.
Put your hands back to see. Thank you.
So, it was about fall 2018, and I had been talking this little situation for about 8 months or so. So, we hadn't really done a special, and we were just friends for a minute. We decided to go to the AOC, right by Griffin Gardens. We decided we would make Halloween the movie day. Only thing was, I was like 16 at the time, she was 18, so I couldn't really buy a ticket without an adult or whatever. So we bought it from Carter. Only thing was, she had an accident and it was on showtime. So that meant our movie wouldn't start till about 10, it wouldn't end till about midnight, and me being the gentleman I am, realized we couldn't have her out that way. So we figured we'd roam the mall and be scheduled, and just chill until her mother came to pick her up. So it was maybe 9 o'clock at this point, we just keep it in like briefly, chilling. Probably got a picture until her mom came. So eventually her mother pulls up, and I get up to walk her to the car, because there's no such thing as a second impression, remember that. So I'm talking to her mother, they drive off, I'm talking for about 2 or 4 minutes, and then I'm getting making my way on the mall so I can handle myself, but then I hear her, hey buddy, come here. I froze, pivoted my head and thought, oh shit, it's a goddamn So I'll walk with my face up, move my hands to my pants, small man and assertive, I go, yes, officer.
You got any ID?
No, ma'am, I'm 16.
You do realize that the mall is closed.
Yes, that's why I was being.
Silence fell for about 45 long seconds before she replied with a,
You better get on your way.
yes, sir. I began making my way around the mall once more, trying to head home, but then an Uber or a Lyft driver called out.
Yo, you good?
Yeah, who are you?
No. Tell me why that cop radioed another cop and said she suspected you were stealing a car.
No.
I didn't like that. Well, be easy out there, little man.
So, then, not even 5 minutes later, my little situation calls back and goes,
Delonte, the cop just pulled us over and asked if we were fine. She thought you shouldn't rob us.
trying to rob me. Instantly, I felt confusion, switched to anger as I pieced it together. The fact that I wasn't doing anything, not even standing, acting, or dressed menacingly. I mean, all I had on was bands, a bomber jacket, and jeans. What else? Why else would you think I was trying to rob a car? I mean, I'm only 120 pounds in the shower soaking wet. Why else did you think I was trying to rob a car? I mean, somehow he saw me hug this girl and open the door for her, and I crazily stood up to a window for 3 minutes before the car just magically went from park to drive. Apparently, it was so deep that the cop had to call for backup. I mean, I don't think I was trying to rob the car. I mean, yeah, my father passed away, but I have a good mother who raised me well. I go to church. I mean, I'm a good dude. I don't think I was trying to rob the car, but oh well. Anybody? Hey, relax. No, listen, I understand why you're confused. I'll be confused too. But if I stop someone and it's not the right person, I'll explain it when I stop. I'll start listening. You know, I got a description over the radio, match your description, and there's been a lot of things going on in this area, in the vehicles, for example. And I'll tell them, listen, you're not the person I was looking for, and thank you for your cooperation, and I'll send them on his way. All right? Sorry you had that experience.
The sounds in my bedroom was off here. It was a hot evening of summer 2019. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping in my backyard. And I was mindlessly scrolling on social media, specifically Instagram. Then it happened. I stumbled upon yet another video of a black family terrorized by cops. The father who was present in his kid's life suddenly became the absentee father due to a bullet. From the video, an angle from the body cam of a cop. It showed not one but multiple officers approaching the SUV vehicle. They were communicating with one another through the radio, and you heard one of them claiming that the man might even be armed. From the video, we can see that the officer already had his gun pointed, as another officer is speaking to the man through the driver's seat. He is told to step out of the vehicle for no apparent reason, nothing suggesting that the man is a possible threat. The man refuses to comply with the orders. The officer says that this car is not supposed to be parked in a disabled spot, and that he may even have a weapon.
Sir, we need you to step out of the vehicle.
No, because I didn't do it.
The officer grabs the guy by the collar of his shirt and drags the guy out the window. The glass echoes as it hits the ground. The black man is screaming on the ground as the officer remains on top of him, his gun pointed.
What did I do? What did I do?
He repeated, like a mantra, 3 bullets go off. The sound of the bullet casing hit the ground as the man is not moving. He isn't breathing. The officer that fired the gun now points the gun at the lady, a witness to this catastrophe. She manages to get her 3-year-old and herself out the car with intrepidation, with an 11-year-old clutched to her arms. She is pregnant as well. The officer still remains pointing the gun at her and her children. And just like that, the video ended as another officer calls for an ambulance. I released the breath that I didn't know I was holding. And sharing the post on my Instagram story with a heavy, heavy heart and empty stomach.
Yo, one day I found myself in this crazy situation. I was walking to the store with some of my homies, and we saw this old lady getting robbed. We tried to help, but the guy ran. We stayed with her to help the robber. When the policeman came, the officers thought we attacked him. I said, what? I said, would we be here if we did this? The officer said, we see crazy things all the time. The old lady told her no officers, and they helped me. After the paramedic took the old lady to the hospital, the police questioned us for 45 minutes. 45 minutes before even calling our parents. I said to the cop, the time you took questioning us, the other guy got farther and farther away. The cop said he's seen people hurt people and stick around and act like they won't get caught. But he shook our hands and said, great job. I get home, my head is still spinning about the whole situation. To this day, I wonder, was the question for 45 minutes even worth it?
You feel angry or upset when the police stop you and ask you a question?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's appreciated. As a girl, sometimes your guys will follow me. A cop car stops by or passes by, and it all stops. Sometimes it's just random.
I mean, if I know the officer, then that's my guy. I mean, I was talking with my boys and we stopped to say hi, and I don't go in panic mode. Sometimes I just freeze because I know how things can go and they can go left real fast.
Are you afraid of police?
I walk with power I don't have.
Personally, I know what they're capable of. I never had any interaction with any of them, so not really. I mean, I'm not really afraid. If I'm not doing anything wrong, why am I supposed to be afraid? But I do hear stories about downtown. My friends are scared, but I don't get it.
I don't want to say ruin their life, but I fear for my family, friends, men, black men especially, because they're an easy target. I definitely fear for my guy friends because I know things can go left really easily.
Put your hands where I can see.
You don't know me, but you will.
The happiest moment of my life, was when I had my daughter, my first daughter. I have two, all my kids. It was very, very life-changing. Well, I have a 26, a 27, 35, and 6 grandkids. I could say my mom and dad have been the biggest influence. My mom and dad, they allowed me to be the person I am today, and I always honor them faithfully. The community I grew up in was the Elizabeth E. Corp, where it was the Glory Manor Housing Project. It was rough, very rough. Rough and tough, that made me a tough guy. So tough that I got into fighting all the time, and I wound up taking that energy and putting it into the boxing ring, and winning the Golden Glove twice, fighting for the USA team, the state of New Jersey, and also just about qualifying for the Olympics. It was great times. It was rough, but anyways, it was rewarding.
I am the first black woman sergeant here in Elizabeth. I was also the second black woman to join the police force here in Elizabeth and played a key role in its growth. I have earned some awards in the time that I've been here. The happiest moment. You may be too young to remember this, but there was the Glory Project and Pioneer Homes downtown. I was working. It was kind of like a riot situation. And I got cut in my face by a box cutter. I had to get stitches, you know, the whole thing. Maybe about 6 years later, a guy shows up to police headquarters. They call upstairs, and I'm working in the detective quarters, and they say, hey, someone would like to see you. So I say, do you have their name? What's this about? Fine, I'll just come down. So I come out to the foyer, and there's a man standing there, and he says, do you remember me? And I'm like, no, right? He's like, I'm the guy that cut you in your face. So we're standing there, and I'm like, where is this going? He then proceeds to thank me for not coming to the court hearing.
because he would have got more time. He got 5 years. I then proceed to thank him for coming to thank me, because I could have went to the court hearing. He could have got more time. But like I told him, everybody makes mistakes, but tomorrow's another day. Growing up, I always wanted to help people, to make a difference, to do the right thing. I always found it so rewarding to assist, to advise. I'm probably my happiest when I'm helping people. So I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and then I started working for the Federal Protective Services. I had my first child, I got married, and then I took the civil service exam. And after the birth of my second child, I finally got the letter I was waiting for from the Elizabeth Police Department. So the process began, and I knew at heart this is still what I wanted. I heard, the comments from some people that weren't encouraging, but I had people that were encouraging. The ones who weren't encouraging said things like, but you have babies at home. Pick a safe career. And I had to think about what I wanted. So I contemplated, I prayed, and I thought about it. What does Melissa want? And I knew this is what I wanted. So I embarked on a journey that I thought was way beyond my reach, especially since it was 6 months post-pregnancy. But I did it. I exceeded all the challenges and requirements of the police academy. And here I am today, a police officer. God is so good. Don't ever worry about the timing of anything. Everything is always in God's timing. If you want something, go for it. Make it happen. I did.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Because you don't know where it stops. Because they take away someone you love. And everything is about to get worse. Because you can't stop them. Shoot first. Ask questions later.
I died. Little Corey died.
My heart was so heavy after watching this documentary. I wouldn't describe the feeling as sad. It was a feeling of hurt, devastation, extreme loss for these 5 boys. I remember this story. It was around the time I was in high school. I remember it was a bad situation all around. However, no one got the accurate picture, only what the media portrayed about these boys. And they portrayed them as animals. There was no accurate description, just a group of boys in the park. The next thing you know, the police are in the hood, rounding up every brown and black little boy they could find. And Corey Wise is a name I will never forget. This 15-year-old boy, he only went to the police station to be with his friend Yusef. Corey Wise never returned home as a child. It would be another 13 years before Corey went home. He was almost 30 years old. The part that really got me, the police and the detectives, they knew that their conduct was wrong. However, nobody stood up for what was right. The lives of these children of color, it meant nothing. Evidence was twisted to fit whatever the lead detective's agenda was. Innocent until proven guilty is a model that make sure that the lives that I touch, the children that are here, their stories are heard. Their lives matter. Their stories matter.
I would like to begin by saying that it has become very clear that me and my parents are treated differently. We share the same blood. We look almost very much alike, but we are still not the same. So it was around 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday. My family and I were coming back from a really nice family dinner. We were pretty close to home. Everyone was in conversation until we see red and blue lights behind us. My dad sucked his teeth and quickly pulled over. But my mom, on the other hand, started panicking. She started saying, "What did we do? What do we do? What are we supposed to say now?" They are both very aware that they are immigrants and an easy target for trouble. In the middle of all the panicking, we hear a tap on the door. 2 officers are standing outside of my dad's door, waiting for him to roll down the window. They're both in vests, intimidating, and one of them held up a bright flashlight to his face. As a young girl, this frightened me. The officer begins to ask questions about the license registration that my dad had. Why were we being questioned for so long, I thought? It was just a red light. All he did was run a red light. My mom quickly tries to distract the officer and says,
"I'm so sorry, officer. He didn't mean to run the red light. I was just late to work. He was just taking me to work."
but she said this out of fear. She had to. The officer continues to ask questions and asks why our car is from Virginia. My dad explains.
I live in Virginia, and I was just visiting her and her mom because her 8th grade graduation was coming up.
He goes on to say that he's not from New Jersey, so he doesn't know the streets too well. But he also said this out of fear. He had to. Well, my parents are definitely together, and my dad does not live in Virginia. But I soon found out that it is much easier to buy a car in Virginia when you're an immigrant. The officer then asks, "Is that your daughter in the back?" My dad says,
Yes, officer.
and the officer's face completely changed. He didn't look so mad at me. He looked more concerned. The officer comes up to my window, and I freeze. He asks me to roll down the window, and I do. And then he starts talking to me, telling me about how he has a daughter who's graduating next year, and how excited he is for her, and how excited he is for me now. I appreciated his excitement, but I was still confused. It's like he forgot about everything that happened before, everything that happened with my parents. Well, the officer says, "Good luck in high school," and tells my dad to take really good care of me. And just like that, he let us go. No ticket or nothing. And we were left to drive home in silence. you could see nothing but their eyes. Almost like what the beautiful Muslim woman would wear, but we were not Muslim. We were Christians. I was too young though, almost too young to understand that if my family didn't pretend to be Muslim, we could have all been in danger. My parents rushed us out the door into the car. My mom, dad, 5 aunts, and I, and sister all crammed into a 4-seated car. I don't think I processed all that happened until a few years later. You see, we were being terrorized for being Christian. Christianity is the minority in Egypt, so things like this happen all the time. Yes, Egypt is a beautiful country, but I take back ever saying it's my safe space. And I really wish this wasn't the memory attached to my childhood. And I really do wish I thought of Egypt as my home. How can something be your home if you don't feel the slightest bit of safe there? How can something be your home if you don't feel the slightest bit of safe?
Put your hands behind the scene.
When you call 911 because there's an actual emergency. When you call 911 because you think there's an actual emergency.
Because you're stranded, it's cold, and it's getting dark.
Because you're lost. Because you're 6 years old and the sister that's with you is even younger.
Because it's reassurance.
They're going after anyone suspicious.
So you can sit on your front porch.
Because they can help your friend better than you can.
If they call an ambulance, they'll get there in record time. Because it's just a joke, so it's no big deal, but they came anyways.
Just to make sure that everything was okay.
Because the cops are always going to be there anyway.
Like at the McDonald's, and it's a fire hazard.
Because somebody got to break up the fight.
You're in need.
You were helped.
You feel safe.
Put your hands behind the scene.
I remember waking up in the morning and thinking, today is gonna be my day. I threw on my Kids USA tee, a pair of tan pants, and my Converse, and headed down to my car. My tank was on E, but so was my stomach, so I decided why not hit up the Dunkin' Donuts with the gas station right next to Smith's house, then jump on the 109 to work. So I'm driving out of my driveway, going down 4th Ave towards South Street, and then bam, it happens. The silver Sequoia in front of me had hit a Toyota truck that sent her back into me. I quickly looked up onto the corner of the car and saw the baby on board sign, and my heart stopped. I jumped out of my car and assessed the situation. Soon enough, the cops came. The cop was a tan Hispanic man with brown hair and a big smile. He came up to my car and he said, license, insurance, registration. I handed it over, no problem. He came back again another time and asked me what had happened. And I had told him everything from the light, to the silver Sequoia, to my car. He came back a third time and asked me what color the light was. I said green, which meant go. He also gave me a packet, so the next time I got pulled over and stopped by the cops, I could hand them that instead of all of the forms separated. The last time he came back, still with his smile, he told me, you're free to go. Have a nice day. Drive safe. I remember being upset because I never got to work that day, but also relieved because I got a cop so sweet and so kind.
So this story takes place when I was about 5 or 6. I decided to prank on my mom. So I sneaked the bowling house phone down to the guest bathroom and I started buying the wood. Now, so this day, my mom had the same phone number that she did 15 years ago. So I came down. The phone starts to ring. The phone connects the call. It's not my mom who's on the other line. It's the police operator. A bunch of expenses. My heart sinks into my stomach and time stopped. I immediately hung up the phone and gave out a big sigh of relief, not even realizing the cops can still track the phone. So it's not even dark out yet, and I heard loud 3 knocks at the door. By this time, I was sitting on the couch. My mom goes to answer it. She later calls me over and explains to me why I shouldn't call the cops because they could be out seeing someone else.
It was a busy night. We were hopping from job to job. No time to eat, no time to go to the bathroom. And then we get a call from dispatch over the radio. Any available units, any available officers, please respond to 323 West Grand Street. Unresponsive 3-year-old choked. So I'm 7 Baker. I answer up 7 Baker en route. And all the other units answer up as well. Copy, copy, copy. So we're all going to this address because you have to understand, I work midnights. In the midnight crew, we're very sensitive to animals and babies. So we get there, and a family member is opening the door for us, and we all pile in. The first guy in, he's a medic in the Navy, and he has 2 small boys at home, so we're going through the door. We get there, the mother's holding an unresponsive 3-year-old, and the father's there, and the mother's frantic. We take the baby from the mother, and he's applying, CPR, and then the father, I go to the father to get information to find out what's going on, and the father gives me bottles and bottles of medication. And I'm like, what's this for? And he begins to explain that his 3-year-old has a very serious heart condition. And they work so hard to keep this baby alive on a regular basis. And he's frantic, the mother's frantic. And he explained that his wife was feeding their child. And then she took her out of the high chair, she put her on the floor, and that was it. She was all right. So then we all leave the apartment. I put the parents in my truck. The ambulance takes the baby to the hospital. We get to the hospital. When we get there, 2 other officers escort the parents off to the side as we all wait to see what's going on with this child. Because now this baby has become Tour 4, Baker side, baby. This is Platoon B's baby. So we're waiting to see what's going on with this child and everything. And the father, he's facing the floor, and you can tell the way that the parents care about each other. And they loved it. They were a good unit. They loved each other. They were, they wanted to make sure that their child was all right. And the doctor comes out shortly after that, and he basically says that the baby has passed. And we were all devastated. Because nobody wants to lose a life, especially a baby. But come to find out, when the father put the baby on the floor, there were toys and things around. And there was, a necklace that had a bead. And the baby had gotten a bead on her hand. And she put it in her mouth. So every time they went to give her compression, they would get lodged in her throat and cut her window. So she couldn't get the right pin. And it just goes to show you that life is so precious, even for the little ones. Something as small as a bee took this precious baby's life.
Fight broke out. Therefore, I responded to Grand Lake County Courtyard for a fight in progress. One of the most fearful events I had in Captain as a police officer. We get there, about 100 people attacking one male surrounding me and other officers immediately formed a circle around us to protect us. The crowd was angry. We needed backup. Some had bats. I could hear women yelling, babies crying, glass shattering. And we had no idea what was going on. As backup arrived, we started pepper spraying everyone. That didn't stop. One male pulled his hoodie and continued charging at this man. They weren't attacking us. We wanted him. Then we used other cars, using the least harm. Finally, when backup arrived, we tried to get him inside the car. Now the fight's into the street. Cars are flying. Kids are going to school. It's rush hour. People are going to work. We later find out that this man murdered someone right in that courtyard. Even if I would have known this before, I would have still protected him. Because killing him will not punish him for what he's done.
When you call 911 because there's an actual emergency. When you call 911 because there's an actual emergency.
Because you're stranded. It's cold and it's getting dark.
Because you're lost. Because you're only 6 and the sister that's with you is even younger.
Because it's reassurance.
They're going after anyone suspicious.
So you can sit on your front porch.
Because they can help your friend better than you can.
If they call an ambulance, they'll get there in record time. Because it's just a joke, so it's no big deal, but they came anyways.
To make sure that everything was okay.
Because the cops are always there anyway. Like at McDonald's and to firehouses.
Because somebody got to break up the fight.
You're relieved.
You were helped.
You feel safe.
When you call 911 because there's an actual emergency.
Because you're stranded.
Because it's reassurance. Because somebody got to break up the fight.
You're relieved.
You were helped.
Feel safe.
Sometimes surviving out here can feel like a non-stop boxing match with life.
Thanks for the thousands that are in attendance and the millions that are watching around the world per pay-per-view.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Standing in the blue corner, wearing the gold crown, gold robe, from Mount Calvary, weighing 225 pounds. He's the undisputed, undefeated champion of the universe, King Messiah. In the red corner, wearing all red, from hell. He's known for his deceit, his tricks, his lies, mayhem, and murder. Like I said, from hell. He weighs 666 pounds, 7 foot tall, no other than Lucifer, aka El Diablo.
Round one.
Round 1, King Messiah comes out, looking good, dancing, looking real pretty like Muhammad Ali, rolling like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, connecting with rights and left hooks, jabs to the body and head. He's breaking twos. Round end. In the corner, Lucifer's coach applies some kind of grease adhesive on his gloves.
Round two.
Round 2, Messiah comes out looking pretty. Lucifer's very confused. He can't connect, so he begins wrestling with Messiah. He takes his gloves and puts them in his eyes. Messiah is partially blind, cannot see. He's being attacked and hit from the body and head. Round end.
Round 3.
Round 3, Messiah, eyes are clear now. He was blind, now he can see. He comes out, connecting with flurries, hitting them with rights and lefts to the body and head. All of a sudden, he comes in. And he broke the young man and puts him down south. Now he moves down. The referee begins counting. 1, 2. Out his mouthpiece. No more, no more. Reigning champion of the universe.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Growing up in the Elizabeth Hospital projects, so all I did was fight. It was sort of the climax of the area. And if you wanted something, you had to go out there and get it by any means necessary, regardless of the consequences. I was a follower. Years later, I became a pugilist boxer. winning the Golden Gloves twice, making me a champion, no longer a follower, but a leader. Now, I am a police officer / detective for the past 27 years, serving in this city as a first responder, doing the best I can, and knowing that doing the right thing is a small price to pay towards coming to success, and I have yet to succeed, clearly. But if you just so happen to fall and get knocked down, try to fall on your back, and if you can look up, you can get up and accomplish what you will. If you don't know, now you know. I'm Detective Williamson.
It's 4th of July, 2018. It was about noon. So I was canoeing down the river with my cousin and my dad. It was pretty cloudy out. It looked like it was about to rain. We were just about to reach the parking lot when, out of nowhere, a branch hit me on the neck, and I pushed it away. That caused us to fall in. The canoe is now floating upstream. Luckily, my cousin grabbed his backpack, which contained his phone and 2 life vests. So we climbed onto land. Not a single clue where we were. We were walking, but little did we know, we were walking north, which indeed was the complete opposite direction from where the parking lot was. We tried using my cousin's phone, but it wasn't working because of the water damage. With only half a bottle of water and a third of a protein bar, we had to find the parking lot soon. So we stopped. My cousin decided that he would make a small campfire with some dry leaves by rubbing 2 sticks together. His plan was to send a smoke signal, but just a few minutes after that, it began to rain. So we hiked up a mountain. We thought we'd try to find a clearing in the trees to see how far we were. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There was no clearing, and we wasted 40 minutes hiking up that mountain. But then we heard a loud boom. It was a flare. We couldn't see it, but we sure as hell heard it. And then there was another one. We immediately followed the sound, and that brought us back to the river. It was like 600 feet wide. We had no choice but to cross it. Luckily, we had our life vests. As I'm trying my absolute hardest to swim to the other side, I was being pulled downstream by the current. Not to mention my legs were getting bumped against large rocks. Meanwhile, my cousin's over here floating down the river crying. We made it to the other side, and we spotted my dad with a police officer. Thank God. We were hungry, dehydrated, and not to mention freezing cold. But before we left, my cousin and I had to thank the police officer because if it wasn't for his help, we probably would have ended up becoming bush people.
Theater is a beacon of hope.
Put your hands where I can see.
The privilege. Now, the privilege of these are ours.
My neighborhood really has a police officer. Of course, I didn't pass by sometimes, but nothing ever happens. But this day, the police officer leaned into my mother's window and asked for her permission. As I was sitting in a passenger seat, my shaky hands retrieved the plastic pad once a stern and tight voice demanded. She handed it to the officer and he returned to his car to the car. Meanwhile, I see a beautiful green enclosement created by huge trees just ahead. It was silent in the car. The only noise was my voice asking what's wrong, what's happening, and my mother's response was, I don't know, everything will be fine. So I believed her because she had no reason to lie to me, and I was also like 14. So that would make it 2016 where police brutality and activism surrounding it was important. I know how routine sounds can be dangerous, even deadly. I'm an overthinker and continue to be to this day, so the silence and mystery was making me think more and more necessary. But I would not put my mother in a position to soothe me while having her deal with her own emotions and soon enough, the officers returned to our car, and I believe he said my mother was speeding, but he left so without mention. So we left. And we didn't talk about the whole affair during the 9 minutes to 7-Eleven, the store, going home, that happened. At some point, the jump was aside, and the present reality is a sweet cherry sliver that sticks to my breath. And the mini school event that hides in the nooks of the parts of the brain your worst memories. So whenever you see a pair of red and blue lights here to the side and a police car nearby, your body tenses painfully, even when you're not sure why.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Because of this, it's tutorial how to tell a joke. Find a subject to make fun of, quote, out of it is true. With the great pain, make sure to include race, the perfect way to get a home run like a baseball player running into a base. And if you don't last, say, tough crowd. See, I'll tell a joke. America will be the subject. The mass shootings will be the truth. The high-rising debt toll will be the pain. Homegrown, Trump-supporting white supremacy will be the only greatest. And the home runs will call them cowards rather than terrorists. Lack of better gun control. They say the future is not ours to see, yet we shall see how this all goes. Because of this, we see children who are screaming as rounds of bullets reach in the air, bleeding the eardrums of the innocent, too young to understand the meaning of death, but smart to know this wasn't a usual nap time. Children who are taught to hide in closets, but fear doesn't do well behind closed doors. They want to be the belle of the ball, the one who gets it all, the attention from the media, the news from tied hands, the sound of fingers tapping at screen, the little thing to every like, share, comment, and post. Fear wants to be known. Because of this, we see you, the gays who were victims of the Orlando nightclub. Music, the bullets started the music thumping in the air. A night where fun began with the sunrise of your life's end, trying to hold on to your partners as they grasp their last breath, telling them it will be okay, knowing it's not true, wishing that it wasn't them but you stay frozen, paralyzed. There's nothing that you can do. Because of this, we see you. How can such evil exist? How can such hate be this great and intense? Shooting up a black church. Prayers of begging God for another day turns to asking God to let you in heaven. Lying on the floor, blood seeping into the ground, trying to hold on to your fallen brothers and sisters at death's door. This is the moment where you stop questioning your faith, and maybe you just might see the hand of God and this blinding bright light in the back, or this sort of darkness. Because of this, we see you. We see you, the infamous shooters of America, taking people's lives into your own hands, your self-proclaimed judge, juror, and executioner. Whatever evil that's in your heart, it's greater than hate. The founding fathers must be turning over in their graves. You are the misdiagnosed individual, calling your actions as mental illness. You aren't inconspicuous anymore. We see the truth clearer than before. Because of this, we see you, and you'll always be seen.
February 14th, Valentine's Day. The special day for that special song. The day you get to tell the people that you love the most that you love them. A day filled with compassion, affection, and true emotion. But this Valentine's Day was different. Today, on February 14th, 2018, at 2:40 p.m. in Parkland, Florida, instead of love in the air, there were bullets from a military-style AR-15. Instead of roses on the cold, tiled floor, there lay your classmates, almost 34 of them, some dead, some on their way, some screaming for mercy. Instead of hearts on the doors, there was blood, splattered, leaked, in puddles beneath the girl who sat next to in English. All done by that weird kid who only wanted to be your friend. Fueled by rage and diagnosed by the nation.
into a nightmare. Midnight struck. 12 were killed at a premiere of Batman in Colorado. I have a fear of movie theaters. Theater is a beacon of hope.
Put your hands where I can see.
The purpose of these are.
Do you feel if you had a moment you can call when peer pressure is leading you in that direction?
Depends on the situation. This opportunity, it gives you something to call.
I mean, it feels good to have you on my side because you're the cops, but you're also just people.
That number to call for any advice, any situation of danger, even if it's nothing, makes things better.
I feel more comfortable with officers than teenagers.
We have our stories.
We all have stories.
You just have to be brave enough to tell them and still enough to listen.
Origin stories.
Products of our environment.
The theater is a beacon of hope in my eyes. Not only a place to showcase your talents, but to discover yourself and others. Walking in the theater instantly brings a smile to my face. Seeing the people whose eyes twinkle on stage, the passion going into the shows, the conviction and energy that's just enticing. I come from a generation of iPhone, Netflix, laziness, and barely anyone has any real goals. And if they do, maybe it's to get likes on a photo. So being in the theater, you see the dedication that goes into the shows. You see the hard work and the long hours, especially from the young people. They could be out doing drugs or just being lazy, but they're here. They're doing something positive, something worthwhile. The theater gives me hope that there are people out there who are looking for opportunities, who are looking to expand and to be great. I look at theaters and I see hope. Roll call!
Natalia.
Angelica.
Delonte.
Selena.
Messiah.
Eugene.
Kenny.
Detective Darren Williamson.
Officer Kareem Gadd.
Officer Aisha McClendon.
John A.
Onaya. Fatima.
Santos. And Brianna. You don't know me, but you will.
I am.
We are.
Products of our environment.
East Wind. Yeah!
Their support for this program and all of our programs here would not be possible. That is Mayor Chris Moe. Earl Graves, thank you so much for your support. My partner in crime, Angela Cariotis, to come on stage. Angie has been this cannot happen without her.
Amen.
Angie, honestly, I thank you so much for your dedication, for your. Thank you. I don't know how you do it with children.
Absolutely. I honor all of you. What an amazing performance. I think and that's a live performance. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing.
and then once the performance is performed, it's over. But I hope they challenge your perspective and your imagination, and what they gave you, you'll hold it within yourself, and you'll continue the conversation when you go out into the world, into the community. Is there anyone who has any questions, perhaps, or any comments? Anything you'd like to ask the cast? I'll tell you a little bit about the process while you're thinking about any questions you might have. We would meet with each other, and we would write and read and debate, and it would be really research-oriented. We really pushed each other in terms of our creativity. I told them, I'm not an expert in your experience, but I feel like what my job is to create the kind of space to push yourself, to push you to the edge of your imagination. And then they created this beautiful piece of work that is a reflection of their experience with each other, and all very true, very real stories. So let's all take a deep breath in first, and exhale out. It's a lot. They talked about a lot of different issues, a lot of different ideas. Yes?
So we just confirmed it for you, but what all the students said, those are their own personal, actual.
Those are their stories, those are their ideas. All of their stories represent and come from their very true selves.
And how long did they have, or did it take for you to
The
get
creation
their stories
process,
out?
5 weeks. The creation process was 5 weeks. Depending on how you feel, it might seem like a long time, it might seem like it's not. Everything it was definitely an investment of time. And I just want to say, y'all might have your family out here. Sometimes I'm a writer and a performer, and I write about my own experiences, and sometimes that's hard for my family to see. So I just wanted to talk about that, that sometimes I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. When you write and tell your very true story, you create a sense of control that you may not have felt about it otherwise. And you create a sense of freedom for yourself, and you also honor the story, the experience, the people in it. Yes?
I just like the idea of the stories that I've heard, because I have seen things like that, or actually saw it, or I've seen it on television. But I like how it was influenced not only into the live cast, but the actual incidents that had happened in the media, not too long ago. I like to have, like how that was influenced. Another thing, is there any way that this kind of program can be instituted like into the school system? Because I really think this is a project that should be like in the high school. Like high school should be able to see this type of project. And I was wondering if there's any type of way to do that. I know there's a way to do it.
I know there's
a way to do it, but is there any ideas out there to do something like that?
There are arts education programs in schools. New Jersey is the #1 state in the entire country to incorporate art education policies within their schools. As far as programs like this, I think that's what we're working on. What you're asking is a really big question. I think there's a way to do anything.
Right.
It's just a matter of how, because there's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle to negotiate. Would any school folk want to answer? I don't know, the principal, if you want to try answering that, or just because you'll know more about what that looks like.
Sure, I can just say briefly. So what happens in school, in high school theater programs, basically revolve around kind of two sides of the curriculum. There's the core curriculum. Some of our students here take drama classes and take courses in theater, which they obviously they're elected students elect to take. And then there's the extracurricular, which probably some of us may have had experiences with when we were younger. Right? There's things that happen like this activity, which is extra happens outside of the school day. I think both are possible. Right now, a lot of the courses that students take in drama kind of focus on kind of like a traditional dramatic and theater education. This school happens to offer a little bit more because it's an arts academy, this particular high school. But that said, I'm sure it's something that, we have any school that has very valued theater teachers, my school does. I think it's something maybe very close.
Sure. And I was thinking, with this perspective on that, that you could either have it where this group, a group like this, come in and actually do the performance, because you do bring groups into the performances, or you could have, work with the students within the school and have them actually.
I think that's a great, like a tour of all the schools within the city or visiting other schools to share the work. It's a great way to connect with other people. I just want to say too that these students do get credit. They get school credit for being in the program. Not only do we write and create work in workshop, but they also are tasked with field work, and it's really rigorous. We're reading things, it's really heavy. I mean, it's a lot of the stuff that I ask my college students. Okay, so it's very heavy lifting. But I also think that artwork and being creative can benefit any student, no matter what it is that you are studying. Yes?
I'm just overwhelmed and thrilled by what I've seen. The energy is just amazing. That you've incorporated an issue in our community that has torn apart our country almost.
Yeah.
And here you are, young people, students, and police officers who have some of the most challenging images to recreate. I'd like to know, I've heard how the students feel, but as the police officers, how has this experience enriched and changed your life?
I've been dealing with Angela since the program started 4 years ago, and it's awesome. I mean, my background is with children. I started with in juvenile corrections. So from juvenile corrections, I went to police. So children have always been my background. But being with them on the creative side and what they offer with the children, it's a whole different experience because, I mean, you're a parent, you have children at home, however, other people's children become your children and you have to guard and protect them just like you do your own. So you grow with them, you grow with their stories, you learn what's good for them, you learn how they feel and what's going on with them, and you know when you look at their face, you know like something's wrong or something's right. It makes you be present as, you know, for me as a woman, as a police officer, as a mother, it just makes me be present. I've grown so much with these kids. It's young adults, I should say. It's awesome. It's an awesome experience all the way around. I wouldn't have it any other way but to be here with them and these young people. And I'm just glad that if we were presented, in the time that we presented with all this stuff, the time that we were presented with all this and what's going on around the country with policing and use of force and people being brutalized in the community, it's just a good avenue to show that everybody, and all cops are not like that. All police officers do not police the same way. You know, so it's just, I hope I answered your question. it was also soothing for her. So that was like real. Like when we went through university and all that was real because it was still pressure. It was still a real situation for her. So it wasn't like, oh, we came up with this part. It was real.
Healing process that's happening with the act, with the performance on stage, that'll create a cathartic experience for the audience.
Yes.
Officer Brooks, who is an alumna of the program.
Hello, everybody. I just want to say you guys did a really good job. Unfortunately, this year I couldn't meet with them. I had one thing to do, 89 weddings and after that. So I couldn't meet with them to practice and be a part of this show. But to see it from this side, wow. Because we never can see, like the past couple of years when I've done this, we never get to see because we never get a video.
Who got it? Not I.
I know we all like action stuff, but I am so proud of that. That's really good job. Well, that's awesome. Next year, I'll be here next year.
Awesome.
Good job, guys.
Cool, so I want to honor the cast with a small token of appreciation from the mayor, Angie, and myself. It just says, congratulations for participating in this program. So when I call your name, just, I don't know how you want to just come and get it. So Angie also was so gracious enough to get for our seniors, because this is their last year with us, another small Angelica has been with us every single year. We watched her grow and blossom. We're so very proud of you. Yes. Rihanna. Cooper. We had two actors who participated with us for the first half and had to step out to begin rehearsals for Tartuffe, which is the main stage show happening here this fall. But Cooper's writing was in the show, so thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Fatima.
It's amazing.
Janae. Janae has been with us from the beginning as well. This is her last year. We will be so proud of you. Delante. He's one of the youngest of our cast members. What are you, freshman? Sophomore, yeah. So hopefully we'll see you back next year. This is Lou's first year, but he's also a senior, so it was so great working with you. Dalia. So Trey is a super, not super, he's a freshman in college right now. Also a freshman in college, he came back, graduate of this high school, is Selena. Sarai. Sarai is also in Tartu this fall and was only with us for the first half of the program. Here you go. Santos. And Onaya. You celebrated your birthday this weekend. So.
And a token of our appreciation, and very much deserved, for our officers, please give it up.
So quick funny story. I met Kareem in Tropicana at the diner. He was working, and I walked in to pick up food, and I was like, hey, he was in full uniform. I was like, have you heard about the program, the Comic Book program? He was like, no, but tell me all about it. So long story short, after a few email and text exchanges, he signed on board.
Officer Dad, the hardest working police officer.
Yes,
And put your hands together for the service presented to Officer Aisha. Detective Darren Williamson.
And Cannon Chief. So we have one for Romina Cannon, Sergeant Romina Cannon, who cannot, yeah, we love Romina Cannon. She had to step out for illness. So, but she was with us and she had a role and we just had to, so we held space for her this entire time. But we'll make sure she's with us. All right? Can you take one more second?
I want to thank Theo and Angie. We started this project a few years ago with the Elizabeth Theater Ensemble, and they've taken it to LA, and HBO has been helpful. And I got to tell you, I think the kids and the officers did an absolute
Thank you so much for coming.